to the inside. Here's Reed, and he uses the glass on the lane. Reed's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for Minnesota. MV against James. Oh, and the jam by LeBron.
LeBron James, ever the showman with an exceptional slam there. One of the best dunkers in the history of the game.
MV against LeBron. MV passes to Reed. Shot from the wing. Connect. No good. Timberwolves trail by 13. Pass to Alexander Walker. We play just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. Good work defensively by Hachimura.
Well, defensively, if you allow him to get this close, you're playing with fire. He just happened to miss that one.
A three. Vincent's shot is good. Vincent's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three. And so Chris Finch calls for the timeout. He knows every possession is critical now. Hayes is checked in for Hachimura. Minnesota also making some changes. Mars is checked in, and Anthony Edwards subbed in for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Final quarter here, and we're just over a minute and a half through it. Here's Edwards. Drilled from 11 feet out.
Anthony Edwards just reading what the defense giving up. Gets to his mid-range game right there.
Pass to Vanderbilt. LeBron with covered by MP. And James gets it to go.
Well, this is what you're trying to do. Put the game away.
And he hasn't forced much tonight. I love the efficiency he's giving to them.
Now here's DiVincenzo. Defended by Vincent. Here's Edwards. Shooting foul, and as the whistle blows, he'll shoot 2 free throws. You hear, Doris, people now calling Anthony Edwards one of the faces of the NBA. I'm assuming you'd agree.
100% agree, because the skill...
Here's Reeves. Pass to connect. Vinny Smith with it. We got 33 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And Clark over to help. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Connect. No good.
Disappointing day for them. Let's see if they go down with a fight.
Well, they definitely have some things to work out, and you'd love to see them finish this game the right way.
We've got 13 seconds left in the fourth quarter. So Los Angeles takes the win. Some good moments throughout this one, but they have the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way they executed on both ends of the floor.
Sometimes the shots just don't fall.
First game in the pros. I'm sure your phone's blowing up.
Makes sense.
Look,
Just caught.
All right. You got your feet wet. Now the real work starts.
Whatever it. Coach, that was great. That was really helpful.
Which reminds me, we've talked a lot about maximizing your playing career.
Get the shower. Wash it off. You let these guys like the bingo, and you want to stand there and watch. thing, MP. Let's turn it around right here.
Well, Grant, when you take a look at this matchup, both these teams feature an impressive backcourt.
No question, BA. And I get the sense that bragging rights are on.
Checked in for Monk. The Timberwolves also with a sub. MP's checked in for McDaniels. Well, if you followed MP on his path to the NBA, you know the one criticism of his game is that he can defer too often, Grant.
And at times I think that's been a fair criticism. But you'd rather have MP trying to involve his teammates too much than not at all. People had the same complaint about LeBron early in his career, and that worked out fine. Yeah, this is the kind of confidence you love seeing. Murray not thinking twice at all about firing away.
Setting the floor for the Timberwolves. Conley and Ann are the 1 and the 2. MP is out there with Julius Randle, and it's Gobert in at the 5 spot. Sabonis with a screen on Conley. Ooh, Gobert with a steal. Here's Edwards. The kick out to Conley. Picked by Gobert. Inside. And Gobert with the stuff.
The floor general Conley, dependable at finding his guys in screen and roll sets.
And Grant, the success of teams like the Timberwolves showing that size still matters.
Yeah, in this pace and space era, that may have come into question just a bit, but size and skill combined has always been your best bet at winning.
A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Hey, Brian, one nickname you hear for DeMar DeRozan is the lone mid-ranger. He said you can operate freely in the mid-range. It's like an ocean out there. If you're smart, you can take advantage of the space and pick teams apart. Brian?
He's an expert tactician working in between. Thanks, Allie. MP, the pass to Randle.
You know, a reliable veteran like Julius Randle is so valuable. He provides a foundation for everyone else to play off of because they know he'll be there to score and help out. He makes it easier for other players to succeed around him.
And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for Minnesota.
They've really been dialed in from deep. This is a team that has a ton of confidence in their outside shooting ability.
Man, they're just having their way, bullying the other team in the painted area, imposing their will down there whenever they want.
DeRozan outside. Levine feeling it out a bit. Releases. And the sweet roll that time on the rim. That one falls.
He just makes it look so easy on offense. Like, who takes pleasure in torturing defenses? He does.
Alexander Walker, the pass to Randle. Misses the 3.
I'd like to see him a bit more efficient. He has not been great this quarter.
Levine finds DeRozan. Pass to Ellis. Shot clock at 6. Late clock here. The Kings need to get one up. Off target from three-point range.
And he probably thought he was going to bury that one.
Now here's DiVincenzo, guarded closely. MP outside. Now here's Randall. Outside, DiVincenzo. Screen by MP for three. Knocks down the triple.
Gotta fight harder to get over those screens.
Yeah, as soon as these guys feel contact, they are just disappearing like they're not even there. You gotta show some fire and keep defending.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves closing out this quarter with a And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we played through one quarter of action so far. All right, let's quickly break down the game, what we've seen so far from the Timberwolves, guys.
Well, it seems like they went in looking to do damage from long range, and they faced little resistance.
Their points came almost exclusively from beyond the arc, and as this game continues, that should open up the floor for the rest of their offense.
Setting the floor for the Timberwolves. We've got Nas Reed, Dante DiVincenzo out there with Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Then it's MP, and it's Minot in at the four.
Great teamwork on that drive, punctuated by a strong finish.
Yeah, that's nice execution, running with purpose and creating an easy scoring opportunity off the break.
DiVincenzo driving. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. Outside Carter. Pass to Ellis. Out of bounds, the Timberwolves will take it. A look now at the leaderboard to see which teams had the toughest defenses this past season. The Timberwolves, number one.
And their gritty mentality when it came to defense was really infectious. They were the best last year at holding opposing teams to low-scoring totals.
Malik Monk checked in for the Kings. McDaniels is checked in for the Timberwolves. Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. Monk against DiVincenzo. Screen by MP. Fires it. Boy, clanks that one off the back iron and it falls. DiVincenzo's got 5 points. And the Kings have held tough. But it seems like the West has gotten tougher, Greg.
Well, what's the saying? If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And the Kings have to find that next level.
Here's Laravia, covered by MP. Sabonis, the pass to Laravia. Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
And what an aggressive move to the rim. He's really trying to fire up his teammates right now.
Boy, it's not hard to feel inspired after a teammate makes that kind of finish.
And that could be the spark they needed to make a little run as they try to even this thing up.
McDaniels passes to Reed. Screen by MP. Here's DiVincenzo. A slam dunk by Reed.
Oh, nothing soft about that.
Was not going to be denied. Just took the dunk that was right in front of him.
And that's his MOB physical, get in position for the putback and throw it down. Defense got to know that's what he's looking to do.
Timeout called, Sacramento. And Sacramento with some changes. DeMar DeRozan comes in for Laravia, and it's Zach LaVine in for Ellis. Rudy Gobert's checked in for Minnesota. Anthony Edwards comes in for Alexander Walker. Sabonis, the pass to LaVine. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Pass to Monk. 6 to shoot. Shoots over DiVincenzo. And another miss by Sacramento.
No clue how he misfired on that shot. You don't see that from him very often.
Here's MP. Another shot. Here's Gobert. And even after 2 offensive rebounds, they just can't take the lid off. Pass to LaVine. And with the new season just underway, Richard, you can feel the excitement around the league.
It's one of my favorite times.
First half comes to a conclusion in a game that's been very close so far. It's Minnesota up 2. And time now for the halftime break, with the third quarter soon to follow on 2K Sports.
I think for the Timberwolves, starting the season with a loss, you know they're ready.
And let's take a look at this first half of play for the Kings. Not a lot of separation here.
And after a fairly... Taking a switch here, Ellis is checked in. Timeout call, Sacramento. 1:56 left in the third quarter. Pass to Randall. Now DiVincenzo. Back to Randall. Alexander Walker with it. They get it again. Outside for Randall. Launches a three. No luck on that one.
Well, his shooting is unfortunately not a big thing. And his lackluster accuracy is probably the thing that's keeping them behind.
DeRozan and Murray in at the forward spots. Then there's Zach LaVine. Then it's Domantas Sabonis. And it's Ellis in at the point. So that's the 5 in the game for Sacramento. To the paint. Alexander Walker with the bucket. Alexander Walker's got his first points of the night.
It doesn't get any easier than that. The defense has to play better.
Pass to Ellis. 54 seconds left in the third quarter. Here's DeRozan. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair. It's going to be on MP.
Let me tell you, DeMar DeRozan is one of the best at manipulating defense. That's why he gets to the line at such a ridiculous clip.
Lyles, he's checked in for Sacramento. LaRavia comes in for LaVine. And the Timberwolves also making a change. Reed's checked in for Gobert. Screen by MP. To 3, Randall. Rebound by the Kings.
There are nights where the shots just don't fall. Unfortunately, I know how it feels.
And the basket by DeRozan.
He has been a key factor for them offensively, scoring with consistency.
Now 5 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock. Out to the right wing. Randall, right side. 5 on the clock. 17-foot shot on the way, and the shot goes in. Randall's got 12 points in the game.
Okay, let's throw out the analytics for a moment. When he's taking the mid-range, it's a winning shot.
Oh, it would have counted had it fallen, but it is offline. And so it's Sacramento going into the break up 12. Their defense has forced a number of key turnovers, giving them a clear advantage on possession. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
Ooh, I'm fired up to see this dish one more time. It's always great to see your two guards share the wealth.
Not just playing selflessly, but also making a smart decision with the ball.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. And a look now at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the fourth quarter. We've got Dante DiVincenzo. Joe Ingles is out there with MP. Then there's Naz Reid, and it's Shannon in a 2-guard. Pass to Shannon. Outside Reid. From behind the arc. And he can't get that one. And it's LaVine with the ball for Sacramento. 14 points, their largest margin of the game. Timberwolves shooting around 44%. Not bad. MP outside. Back to Ingles. Cash. It's MP picking up the assist.
Yeah, good work by MP, noticing when someone else has a superior opportunity to score.
Valanciunas. Oh, and Reid with a block. Pass to Shannon. Here is DiVincenzo. And here's Reid. Valanciunas covering. Archie, something you notice about these Kings, they shoot plenty of threes.
And that's the modern game for UVA. The Sacramento shoots especially freely. You are right. And those shots often connect. shutting down, and that trend changes for them anytime soon.
Garza's checked in for Minnesota. And he's good on the second. Here's Monk. Outside Levine. Pass to Lyles. Knocks down the long J. And the Kings lead by 14.
Because he draws so much attention on offense, the D, look, they're going to have problems with Levine, and it opens up some great passing lanes for them.
And Chris Finch has called timeout, rallying his guys to make sure they all know the plan. Keegan Murray's checked in for Lyles. And Minnesota making a change here. Edwards, a pass to Clark. Here's DiVincenzo. Pass to MP. Zach Levine clears it away. The Kings lead by 14. They kick it out to Murray. They get the rebound. Valanciunas, good. Valanciunas has got his first 2 points.
Yeah, he's a top-tier offensive rebounder. Valanciunas uses his size and strength to his advantage to do damage on the boards.
MP finds Reed, and that one's good.
They're going to want to close the gap. They're going to need to start running more sets through him. Let your stars lead the way. Come on.
Rebounded by the Timberwolves.
He's going to hear from his teammates after that one. Not quite sure what happened.
Outside Edwards, 19-footer, and that one drops for him.
And this is how confident Edwards is. Feels like he can sink these shots whenever he wants.
And the foul called on MP. That's foul number 2 for him. And some changes here for... It's a narrow victory for the Timberwolves, pulling it out for the W. With the late victory, they upset plenty of these hometown fans.
They really should take this win to heart. When the
they really thought they had a chance tonight.
Good job, MP. I see. It's game time, MP. You ready to put that work in?
All right, baby, let's get down.
Fans have been waiting for it. They want to see the debut of NP. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to 2K Sports. And peer through your coach's lens just a second for us. What are you trying to accomplish early on in the season?
Well, I think...
He's checked in for Minnesota. And then for Toronto. Chris Boucher's checked in for Jakob Poeltl. And Barrett subbed in for Barnes. And if you talk to guys who know MP, who grew up with him, they'll all say that he lets his game do the talking.
And he's got a very business-like approach to himself when he's on the floor. He can dish it back if you come at him. But for the most part, he's letting his numbers speak for themselves.
So the Raptors 5 right now. Boucher out there with Brandon Ingram. Then there's Emmanuel Quickly. Then there's Dick. And it's Barrett at the 3 spot. So with Brandon Ingram's height and shooting ability stand, he can get about any shot he wants, can he?
Yeah, Kevin, any shot at any time. You know, his ball handling is a lot better than people think. He can get to his spots on the floor. And a little bit like Kevin Durant, he can just rise up over people. And he's got a great ability to make really tough shots look easy.
Fun play to watch.
That's just an excellent save by Gobert, grabbing that rebound and getting his team a second opportunity.
Quickly kicks to Barrett. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. To the paint. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
I had a chance to catch up with Chris Finch, and their focus on defense, Brandon Ingram. Coach told me Brandon presents unique problems. It's the skill and size combination. You just don't see it too often. Anytime Ingram touches the ball, everyone will be focused on stopping him. Should be a good one tonight, guys.
Thank you, David. Ingram deciding where to go with it. Out to Barrett. That's good, and it's Ingram with the assist. Barrett's got 5 points so far.
Well, Barrett likes to shoot threes at a steady clip, and he's pretty free with those shots.
Gobert dishes to Randall. Outside Conley. Pass to MP. And it's Toronto with the rebound, coming off that loss against Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, they had their chances, competed deep into that game, but had a few lulls there that just kind of took them down.
Well, this has to be a frustrating loss because they actually played well, but it still wasn't enough for them to get the win.
Gets the three-pointer to fall. He has 5.
The shots are certainly falling for him here in the early stages.
Ingram outside. Barrett wide open, he fires. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Timberwolves leading by 4. And here is Conley. An 11-point game for him in the win against the Kings in Sacramento.
Yeah, and I thought he was locked in defensively. I think he had like 3 steals after that.
Anthony Edwards has been leading the charge for Minnesota. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having... And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And looking at what we've seen from the Timberwolves, what do you guys think?
Way to set the table. Offensively, they dominated on the interior.
Well, if they're going to be that ferocious inside, this defense is in for a long night.
They got McDaniels. Nickeil Alexander-Walker out there with Dante DiVincenzo. Then there's Reed. And it's MP in at the 3. So that's the Timberwolves 5. Here's DiVincenzo. Rebound by the Raptors. Barrett's got 4 rebounds in this game. Inside, there's Boucher. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And the defense defense of this Raptors team. Greg, they are built to switch.
And it's no accident with their roster construction. They like having wings that can guard all 5 positions. Makes defending a much easier prospect.
Here's DiVincenzo. Pass to McDaniels. Beyond the arc. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Ingram wide open. Drills it from outside. Ingram's got the lead up to 3 now for Toronto.
And 10 of their last 12 coming off assists.
And we got a timeout called from Chris Finch. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline. And for the Timberwolves, they're shooting an efficient 53% from the field. Pass to McDaniels. Down low. MP kicks to Reed. Ingram against McDaniel. Just 5 on the clock. Reed with it. It's a ball to run. And once again off the mark by Minnesota.
Well, the defense got lucky there. More often than not, he's making that shot.
Good on the bucket. Ingram's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Alexander Walker with the ball. Scoreless thus far. That's McDaniels. Reed with a screen for McDaniel. On left of the wing. Shoots the 3. Shot is good, and the Toronto lead is cut down to 2 on the bucket from Reed. Reed's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Inside, here's Shen. DiVincenzo with the rebound. The Timberwolves have gotten only 1 of their first 4 shots in the second quarter to drop. Quarter 2, and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. A nice shot by McDaniels.
And this is something McDaniels continues to work on. Good to see him cash in off the catch.
Onside, Barrett, a tray. Minnesota with the rebound. This, their first look at this year's Toronto squad.
It was a matchup you thought they would have cruised through, but they actually dropped the game in this series last year.
And now the latest from our reporter, Daniel.
Kevin, thank you very much. Jaden McDaniels has become an X factor for the Wolves. Mike Conley says, we know what he does defensively, but the offense that he can bring for us balances our unit. It's much needed. Guys tend not to think of him as an offensive player, but he does have that in his game. Kevin?
But I love the reference to an X factor. He definitely is that. All right, David, thank you. To the middle, Boucher with the steal. It's Barrett on the wing, covered by MP. Epic counts. Barrett's got 11 points. Hey guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Raptors.
Well, the coaching staff has to be.
Game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Timberwolves ahead, up by 1. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center.
I like their follow through on the offensive end, not taking the shots and walking.
And now, and that is a wrap. Now let's send you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third quarter.
Second half of basketball. Minnesota making some changes. MP's checked in for McDaniels. Alexander Walker comes in for Edwards. And it's Dante DiVincenzo in for Mike Conley. Chris Boucher's checked in for Toronto. Barrett comes in for Barnes. All right, Stan, hypothetical situation. Oh, wow, what a creep inside.
That is incredible.
You gotta have guts and hops to pull off a dunk like that. Randall got a lot of both.
So the Raptors 5 right now. Ingram is out there with Barrett. Then there's Chris Boucher. Then there's Emmanuel Quickly. And it's Dick in at the 2 spot. Timberwolves trail by 8. Pass to Randall. To the paint. It's tipped. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Barrett.
You love the pressure he's putting on them. Almost had that steal.
Yeah, deflections are a stat that a lot of teams track, disrupting the offense's rhythm and flow.
Nas Reed, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. And Toronto also making the switch. Abaji's checked in. Raptors leading by 8. And it's tough to finish it off. A beauty.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. With the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. DiVincenzo kicks to MP. Pass to Randall. The baseline J. Boucher with the rebound.
Well, he's more than comfortable in the mid-range, but you can't make them all.
That one falls. And now a 12-point Raptor lead.
In so many different ways, Dick gets the ball to his teammates, always on time and on target.
DiVincenzo against Quickly. 17 seconds left to play in the third. Pass to Reed. Now here's DiVincenzo. Quickly covering. Another miss by Minnesota. Ring shot on the way. And that one released in time, but no good. And so it's the Toronto Raptors enjoying a 12. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feat.
Well, it's one of the core parts of the game. Reading the defense and creating an easy bucket for your teammate. That is great.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. We've got Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Also Dante DiVincenzo's out there. MP out there with Nas Reed. And it's Minot in at the power forward. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Barrett against MP. Pass to Minot. Screen by MP. Now DiVincenzo. Oh, good on the triple. Ingram outside. Here's Shed, defended by DiVincenzo. Here's Shed, off on the layup. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Now here's DiVincenzo to the inside. That shot off the mark. Nice D from Barrett. Pass to Walter. Lets the 3 fly. They grab their own miss. For 3, Ingram. His second miss of the game still has him shooting 8 for 10.
After draining 3 triples in the first half, he doesn't have any in the second half. I know he's disappointed, but he needs to remain aggressive.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
And Darko Rajakovic calls timeout. And that timeout by coach was carefully measured. Here's Barnes. There's 42 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Robinson. And at last, they get one to fall. And the Raptors lead by 13. Here's MP. Nice move. On the wing, MP. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. 5 on the clock. Here's Shannon. That 3 off the mark. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. South